Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've had this thought in my mind a little bit, and I thought I'd go ahead and kind of address it. Ever since I made the video about WattPad about to be hacked by 4chan way back a couple months back in 2021, a question's been kind of racking on my brain, because I've been reading fanfiction on WattPad, on Archive of Our Own, and then fanfiction.net. But then a question kind of popped in my head, because the two biggest ones that are kind of in the mainstream internet thought consciousness is WattPad and fanfiction.net. And I kind of want to talk about which one, in my opinion, is better over the other. Sort of a pros and cons type deal. Now, this will be, of course, broken down to 5 things, which we will cover in this video. So let's just go ahead and start with the user interface, number 1, or at least the way it's set up. With fanfiction.net, which let's start with them first, it's more utilitarian. It feels like a good old-fashioned forum, essentially, back in the day. And even the setup for reading, if it's either on mobile or computer, is wholly utilitarian also. I was introduced to fanfiction.net thanks to Ron the Black Cat, the author of America Another World. And the way it's set up is set up sort of like WordPad, or even Notepad. It is set up in that fashion, all the way down to what style of text you want. And while, yes, that is actually pretty cool and interesting, at the same time, it's very utilitarian in that you don't attach images to the pages. And if they do, I haven't found any. Because even on the mobile version, every single one of them I've read has always been just plain text and descriptive, more or less descriptions. A big one even is, even when you go to the main page itself on the main website, it'll have a thumbnail right up here. Unlike WattPad, which we'll get to in a second, the big thing about it is that in terms of utilitarian, or at least in terms of an author sphere, a lot of it is just basic, bare-bones utilitarianism in terms of the way it's set up, the way you set up your entries, the way everything is laid out. It is wholly utilitarian, and it doesn't go for the big, flashy setup, essentially. And that is a stark contrast to WattPad, where WattPad is more or less like YouTube, in that it has thumbnails, or covers, I guess you should say, where you can display your cover art. And of course, unlike fanfiction.net, I mean, WattPad, whenever you do to publish a story or anything of that nature, you can add art or photos or videos or really damn near anything to each chapter, or even the or even the chapter's cover art. Be it the title of the chapter itself or anything of that nature, you can completely and utterly customize the entries that are made in the stories that you produce or publish. And I'll be honest, in terms of the way this is set up, it is kind of nice. But another thing I don't like about WattPad versus fanfiction.net is WattPad's pretty heavy corporate display.
We've got to have money.
Whenever you go to the main website of WattPad or on their mobile app, there are tons of ads for either LGBTQ plus stories or just straight up smut, anti-vaping ads. I have yet to see an anti-smoking ad, you sons of bitches, I being a vapor. There is even one point where I actually saw a freaking Biden campaign ad at one point. There was even, at one point, I actually saw a pro-abortion ad, which was kind of fucked up in my opinion. What the fuck?
What the hell?
But the way it's all set up is it's totally corporate. Like, completely corporate. And that's just scummy in my opinion. Another thing about WattPad that is a negative versus fanfiction.net is fanfiction.net does not try to push anything on you. It is purely for stories by stories. They do have ads, yes, but they're not as obstructive or intrusive. unlike fanfic, unlike WattPad, where they literally push their own type of monetary system to the point of you have to have a membership in order to not have ads pop up. Because when you're on the mobile app, right as you go to click on another chapter, let's say you've read, because this has been inconsistent in terms of how many chapters you can read. My count has been between 3 to 5 chapters or entries on a fanfiction or even story before an ad fucking pops up. And I don't mean like, oh, you know, just a little pop-up. No, an actual fucking full-on commercial where I've had to swipe up my phone, hit the freaking multiple apps thing, and then close out the app, and then reopen it just to do the reset of the goddamn thing. And then right as I do that, it's like, hey, would you like a free membership to not see ads? Because they fucking know you saw a goddamn ad, and it's like, let's just go ahead and throw this fucking ad for a fucking WattPad membership, because fuck actually trying to do something good with their fucking app.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Bullshit!
Fool me once, I'm mad. Fool me twice, how could you? Fool me 3 times, you're officially that guy, okay? You know the one. You go to the bar, he's like, this suit is officially is a Giorgio Armani. Ask my dad knows him. Fuck you! I ain't having that shit!
Sorry, sorry about that. In terms of which one has the better user interface, I'm gonna have to give it to WattPad, because WattPad does allow the authors to actually be very creative, or at least attempt to be creative if they don't have any sort of descriptive, if they're just starting out and they can't really describe what they're seeing and they have to use photo examples, or even use video examples, or if they don't put the lyrics in there or try and describe the music that's being played, you know, they can just put the YouTube video or their favorite music or what have you there. As a YouTube creator, I might actually be posting my videos on WattPad myself as actual full-on things. I might do that. I don't know yet. But outside of that, though, the big thing I think that WattPad has over fanfiction is just that right there. WattPad allows you to be creative and customize your own chapters in terms of adding art, videos, or even just straight-up music in general. That is a huge plus in my opinion, but the photo limit is pretty limited in terms of how many photos you can post in a single chapter. So again, I gotta give it to WattPad. They do have a good user interface, at least, and it is very much so not utilitarian as fanfiction.net, I mean, but again, one of those things. Now let's go ahead and go to the second point, the content, because you don't come to WattPad or fanfiction.net unless you look at the content as presented there. And this does tie into point 1 with the user interface, or at least the way it's presented. With fanfiction.net, the utilitarian nature of it allows people to more or less, well, the utilitarian restrictive nature of it allows people to be more creative, having to be more imaginative, since they just can't post images to their chapters they're making. They have to be creative in their fanfiction writing, and it does show when compared to the laziness that is WattPad sometimes, and I'm dead fucking serious on that. WattPad can be lazy in terms of how many fanfictions are just the same goddamn thing over and over and over again. There's one author I was following that, obviously English was not their first language, but they just kept pumping out fanfictions left and fucking right. Many of them were goddamn lazy as hell. And I will cover this author in the future, I promise you that. There are some which completely just... God damn it. Okay, so... WattPad does have good authors. They really do. And they do have good stories. They really do. But unlike fanfiction.net, the way I can describe it is more or less, WattPad is that one place you start out as. You're just young, you're just starting out. But then you find out about fanfiction.net and you mature as you're working there, because you are working with the net confined restrictions that they present for fanfiction writers. So they actually have to be imaginative. They have to be creative, and it actually expands that creativity. It actually makes them have to be more creative with their writings and their works. Unlike WattPad, where everything is either freaking gay sex, identity politics, gender politics, stupid, lazy-ass insert stories, insert harem stories, fucking insert smut fiction, goddamn, fucking just... Basically, there are good stories buried under a lot of shit on WattPad. That's all I'm trying to say, guys. The last 3 points I think we need to go over in terms of the two is... and this is just one of the things I'm having a hard time with because I'm trying to, but accessibility. When dealing with fanfiction.net versus WattPad in terms of actually being looking for the stories you're looking for, WattPad actually does better in this regard. They have different categories that they will actually have sections for. Let's say that you're looking for a good military fiction. Okay, they'll actually have a ranking system, unlike fanfiction.net, which doesn't have a ranking system. I actually do like this, and I know a lot of you are going to probably rage in the comments section. Hear me out. I've been able to find a lot of the stories I've been able to review from WattPad, either from authors themselves or because I found them via the ranking system. My own story, even, my own freaking Shield Hero fanfiction, actually was ranked #1 in tactical there for a good while before it got bumped down to the teens. And that might be because I haven't done a chapter on it in a while. I've been busy, guys. I really have. For those of you who actually found me through my fanfiction work, I've been busy, guys, okay? I've been very busy. It's one of those things. A big thing about this is, or at least a big plus with it, I mean, is that this can work in very good favor for a lot of authors who are just starting out, and they actually do have good talent. This allows their fanfictions to be actually put on a system. However, what really, I think, killed fanfiction.net, what really killed WattPad, I mean, versus fanfiction.net, is that fanfiction.net actually has a update system, or a community tab system, that actually does show what's going on, what's being updated, what new stories are coming out. Versus WattPad, where they did have a community section that actually was like Facebook's newsfeed, but they completely removed it. Why they did this, I don't fucking know, and I think this is a corporate decision, in my opinion. That's what I think it is, and it's fucking stupid, in my opinion. Just, what the fuck, WattPad? Bring that shit back! The final two are actually intertwined with each other. The final two has to be, really, the polish. And more or less just the reputation behind it. WattPad has a pretty not-so-good reputation because of how it's doing right now. It is going completely corpo, and that is something I don't agree with. A website like that does host stories, yes, and that is something I do kind of like, is that they do host independent stories, they do help promote actual stories, even if they are behind paywalls, which I completely understand. But the sad part is that WattPad has an issue where a lot of authors, really good authors, have their stories straight up stolen or completely ripped off and uploaded to other websites under different authors or even different names of those people who stole their stories and did that. Fanfiction.net does not have that issue from what I've seen so far. Understand now, I may be completely wrong on that. You can correct me in the comments section, but I have yet to see any sort of that issue yet. Another thing about the difference between WattPad and fanfiction.net, again, has to be utilitarianism, because be it fanfiction.net, you know, be it on mobile or website, they do have a dark theme. That is something I fucking love, considering my eyes hurt like hell right now from doing a 235 plus chapter fucking review, which was that American Dream, the Revolutionary War time travel fanfiction, or not fanfiction, story. And having that dark theme really did help out. WattPad, on the other hand, does not on their web page. Yet on the mobile app, and yes, mobile app, not mobile fucking app, mobile browser, the app, the one that has all those intrusive fucking ads, has the dark theme, while the web page does not.
What the fuck?
Why? 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 Why?
No! No! Does not compute! Does not compute! It does not compute! I think so!
In terms of which one I would definitely recommend more, if you're someone who is just starting out writing and you have a lot of photos that you use for your story idea examples or anything of that nature, or you just want to help promote your artwork of your story, your artwork of your story, then WattPad would be good for you, actually, and I do recommend WattPad for that. But if you're someone who's a hardcore writer and you love writing fanfictions, and you have a very creative mind and imagination, then go with fanfiction.net. There are a lot of hardcore readers there and actual good devoted communities there. But again, there is so many things that are a stark contrast between the two websites. And again, be it one or the other, I cannot say which one is better over the other. I can only make good examples of them. With WattPad, it's just that novice, artistic, creative type website that has a bit of a problem in terms of just corporate shilling and just pushing all the wrong things, while fanfiction.net, in my opinion, is more of the dedicated side of the fanfiction community, more of the actual polished side, the one that actually takes its time and actually has good fanfictions there that start out pretty good and either end up on WattPad or WattPad ending up on fanfiction.net. Both are connected pretty good and both are good in their own right and have their own problems. But in my opinion, fanfiction.net actually does good and excel in one area while WattPad excels in the other. And I'll be honest, I can't give you a definitive answer. Much as I would like to say that fanfiction.net is the best fucking one to go for in terms of stories or just fanfiction in general, that'd be a lie, because there are good fanfictions on WattPad. You just gotta look for them or stay on this channel to find them yourself. Again, a lot of interesting ideas, but either way though. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think of the two websites. Which ones do you prefer more over the other and why? Let me know in the comments section down below. And if you want to help support the channel and future content, consider donating to the PayPal down below. And if you want to help sponsor reviews in the future, PayPal as well. And if you want to come hang out with me and other authors and just all that good jazz, link to the Discord down below as well. Anyway, thank you all for watching. As always, I've been Airsoft Al, and I will see you lovely, lovely people in the next video. Till next time, later.